Support for the Leadoff on WGLT and WGLT.org comes from the Central Illinois Regional Airport, where travelers are one stop away from world destinations. Connections on Delta Airlines to Atlanta are available daily. Close, convenient, CIRA. More at CIRA.com.
The city of Bloomington takes steps to address the housing crisis, and some worry about what that might mean for them. That's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Thursday, September 11th. I'm Lauren Warnicki, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with a nonprofit for people with disabilities holding an open house for its new downtown Bloomington site as renovations are ongoing. Lifelong Access expects the former Pantagraph building it now owns to be ready to move into next year. WGLT reporter Braden Fogerson has the story.
Lifelong Access held a Golden Hammer event to update members of the public about ongoing renovations to the site that will primarily serve youth and teens. Leaders from Chestnut Health Systems and the Regional Office of Education, two other future tenants of the building, were also present. Lifelong Access board member Dennis Wentworth says the plan started with a simple question.
How can we create a facility that provides multiple services to individuals with multiple needs? How can we help people who currently must travel out of town because their access is limited?
Attendees took a tour to help visualize what each portion of the building will be used for. The Regional Office of Education will use its portion of the building to serve more kids through its regional alternative school than ever before, as Mark Jontry, the Regional Superintendent of Schools, explains.
We had a waiting list at the end of last year serving grades 6 through 12. Those students that are not successful in a traditional learning program come to us and they find that success and become productive citizens.
Chestnut Health Systems will utilize the space to create a crisis living room to provide immediate services to patients in a medical or mental health crisis. The $26 million project is largely paid for by a $21.7 million state grant. Donations to help fund the rest of the project are still being accepted. For The Leadoff, I'm Braden Fogerson.
Here are some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. A survey shows 7 in 10 residents of Normal approve of the town's overall quality of life. That's 3 points higher than the national average. Residents gave the town good marks for its waste and recycling services. Its lowest satisfaction rate was for availability of affordable housing. The University of Illinois reports an increase in enrollment among international students despite federal immigration policies. The U of I system says its headcount for undergrad international students is up 6% compared to last year. The Bloomington Housing Authority has rehired its executive director who left last year. Jeremy Hayes returns after a family relocation. Hayes was the Housing Authority's executive director for 6 years. And retired State Farm CEO Ed Rust Jr. will be keynote speaker at a new speaker series that Illinois Wesleyan University is hosting. The IWU alum will present a lecture entitled Liberal Arts, Value from a Business Perspective at the university's Memorial Center. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. The Bloomington City Council has approved buying new software for the police department and considered a report on zoning that promotes certain kinds of new housing. A report that has drawn some concern from residents. Bloomington Mayor Dan Brady unpacks those issues and developments in the dispute with McLean County over shared sales tax money. The council has also approved accessory dwelling units. Those are smaller houses on the same lot as larger dwellings. In this interview with WGLT's Charlie Schlenker, Mayor Brady says the impact allowing those housing units will have on the cityscape will be minimal.
We need to go back and look at some of the things the council's done before I became mayor regarding housing and the potential of housing. And with action by the council, we've created, it's my understanding review, we've created upwards to thousands of potential units in different areas. And what we've come up against is when you talk to an investor, a developer, they'll say, you want affordable housing, give us affordable building. And those are things that are out of our control, meaning from an economic standpoint of the national economy, material cost, and the list goes on. But the action taken by council allows some more flexibility when it comes from the zoning side of things. And it's really open to the interpretation of how either quickly or how much of any significant play that's going to have.
There was quite a bit of public comment and concern about missing middle housing, the potential to mix multi-unit and single-family residences together, particularly from one subdivision there was concern. Mm-hmm. What reassurances can you give those folks about the process involved and about the sky not falling?
Anything within that report that was simply acknowledged, accepted by the city council, action-wise, would come back to the city council. There won't be anything done to divisions, subdivisions, that would be a detriment, that would be something that would cause them concern or undue hardship for their property value, parking, or any other area. I also don't see the report taking any foothold anywhere without additional council action.
How should staff and then council take on board both the public comment and the elements of that report that they are concerned about and mix the two in the process going forward?
Well, that's the whole purpose of what the discussion was the other night, in part anyway, giving the staff direction from this report. Look, this report is not one size fits all. We know that the overlays, the areas zoned in R2 and different areas, all don't fit from walking appeal to other ideas for the whole Bloomington. It only may have potential in certain areas, and those are the areas we have to, primarily downtown, on the outskirts of the downtown area, but not into subdivisions. This report is not aimed at or will be allowed to go into subdivisions and make significant changes that would hamper not only that subdivision, but reduce property value and make something dangerous from the side of parking.
That was Bloomington Mayor Dan Brady speaking with WGLT's Charlie Schlenker. Before we let you go, the McLean County Board meets tonight. On the agenda, a presentation of the county's proposed budget for next year. And that's it for today. I'm Lauren Warnicki. The show was produced by Cheyenne Brown. You can subscribe to The Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.